We prefer doing things our own way.
Say something!
That's my cue. Just what I want to hear.
Hey guys, it's El Supersonic Q here with Coin Up Conversations. So tonight's episode is going to focus on some Smash stuff, the gift that keeps on giving, except this time it's not about anything Nintendo's really giving us. It's kind of old news that I just want to update on, but it's Smash Bros. Nonetheless. Then we're going to talk about some Shin Megami Tensei X Fire Emblem with SonicmonE. He is joining us tonight for his thoughts on that game. Alright guys, so we are going to start things with Smash Ballad. We'd like to welcome SonicmonE to the podcast. How are you doing tonight, SonicmonE?
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good myself. Some Smash Ballad stuff going on. So I heard that you voted on a character, and you voted for...
The character I decided to vote for comes from Kid Icarus Uprising. Now see, I personally like playing as Palutena in the new Smash game, so I was like, oh, what better character to vote for than probably my favorite character in Kid Icarus Uprising, which is Viridi, the goddess of nature. And granted that, Dark Pit is almost like a Pit clone, I see no reason why Viridi couldn't be in this game, because she could easily be either a Palutena clone, or since Palutena's entire moveset is based off of different abilities from the multiplayer feature in the game, you could give her tons of new moves based on those from the game. So either being a clone or giving her a new moveset, I think I would really like to play as her as a character, and I think having 2 angels, 2 goddesses, just for a nice round even number, I think that would be good for the number of representatives from the Kid Icarus series.
I think just my biggest thing with that is that I don't think Sakurai would do that, because he was worried about overrepresenting Kirby and stuff in the Melee days and stuff. So I don't see him wanting to overrepresent Kid Icarus with 4 Kid Icarus characters and then his 3 Kirby characters. I really feel like he wouldn't do that. On top of the fact that I don't see him making Viridi a clone of Palutena. I hope for the Smash Bros. He doesn't make any clones, so I still don't see that happening. But okay, I guess you make a valid argument.
Well, and I also think that 4 isn't. I mean, Mario. It's not like it's outdoing Mario or anything.
Let's not get into the whole too many Mario reps, too many Fire Emblem rep thing. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, Fire Emblem has 4. Mario probably has 5. If you don't count Yoshi and Donkey Kong, he probably has 5.
But I feel like to even use any kind of overrepresentation or underrepresentation like that, I feel like it's just a Sakurai thing. He's not going to want to overrepresent the stuff he does.
Well, it's not.
I mean, it has nothing to do with just with actual series reps, like the Mario series or whatever.
Well, I mean, he's not. It's not like a one-man project. It's not like he's working on the game as a one-man project. I mean, it's not his thing to just I mean, he can't just say, "Oh, I don't want to do this," or I mean, I don't know, but it's not like he just solely decides on what happens and what doesn't.
All right, well, we can only hope for the best, I guess. And if you guys follow my blog, you would have already known that I voted for Issa from Sin and Punishment Star Successor.
Good choice.
Yeah, it was a good choice. I'm pretty proud of myself.
Good game.
For my
that was a good game.
All right, so we'll have to see what happens. But there was a recent, I guess, rumor going around that there are 4 more slots that were found in the Smash Bros. Code. So who knows what those 4 slots could be. Some people think, well, like I said before, Roy and Ryu. But then I guess aside from them 2, Mewtwo and Lucas, that leaves 2 other characters if Roy and Ryu are actually going to be a thing. So who knows? Both of those could be from Smash Ballad. One of them could be from Smash Ballad. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. Another thing we're going to have to wait and see about is Shin Megami Tensei X Fire Emblem, to see how different of a game that actually is going to be from what we originally thought it was going to be, even though it's already very far from it. But once the game comes out and we get more gameplay and stuff, it's going to be strange to see what it actually is in full. And I know, SonicmonE, you have a lot of thoughts about this game, because you play Persona, you play Shin Megami Tensei, you play that type of thing more so than I do. So I know you were really vocal about when they first revealed the trailer.
Yeah, so in short, I became a Shin Megami Tensei fan maybe close to 2 or 3 years ago. It started when I got my 3DS, and I saw this game called Devil Survivor Overclock, and it was really interesting, and I didn't want to start playing the rated M Shin Megami Tensei games because I thought they'd be too intense for M games, so I was like, oh, let's start with this with this T game and my 3DS new system. So I played it. It was really good, and so that's sort of how I got hooked onto the whole series. And let me just say that like all the other Shin Megami Tensei games like Persona and Shin Megami Tensei 4, those definitely do not deserve rated M ratings. They're really not that bad. It's just, if a demon says something that sort of hints at something being inappropriate, like that's all that really means. I think the ratings are completely bogus for those games. But my point is that I became a fan of Shin Megami Tensei, and as of recently, I got Fire Emblem Awakening, which is actually my first Fire Emblem game, so I started playing that. And, when this crossover was announced, I was like, oh my goodness, this could be the best game of all time. Like, two really great RPG franchises. It better not become the last Guardian of the Wii U.
Yeah, that's like the one thing, like never mind anything about how terrible the game looks. We'll get into that, but never mind how the game looks now. Like, the biggest worry for everybody was like, oh, this game, is it even still in production? It's been 2 years since we even saw anything or heard that it was announced or whatever. So that was the biggest worry, is that the game was canceled. But then, of course, for the Nintendo Direct, was it on in April? Yeah, April 1st. So a few weeks ago, they revealed the first trailer and stuff. And we were just completely confused by it. We didn't even know what it was at first.
I was really hoping that it was like some other new Atlas game. I know that there are some other new Atlas titles coming out, but I was really hoping it was like one of those. And then when Bill Trinan said like, "Oh, this is what everyone's been expecting," you're like, "What? What have we been expecting?" And then he said the name, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, I don't even know what to think right now." And I think there are two opinions. There are two kinds of people after they saw the trailer. There are the optimistic people who are thinking, "Oh, well, it isn't exactly what I thought, but I'm not giving up hope. Maybe it's still going to be a good game." And then there are the people who are like, "This just ruined everything. This is not what I was expecting. It does not look like it has." And aside from like the one character who kind of looks like Marth,
Yeah.
there's like no Shin Megami Tensei looking references at all, which I agree with. And
So you would say, so which person are you of the
you know
two?
what? I'd actually say I'm my own person in the sense that like I really was. I was. There aren't a lot of games I'm looking forward to, but I was honestly like heartbroken when I saw the trailer. I'm like, this is not out. This is not what I was expecting. Like we were discussing. We were expecting a voice-acted Demi-Fiend.
Dude, yeah, voice-acted Demi-Fiend versus voice-acted American Marth. That was like my dream game for this. That is what I wanted this game to be, and it's like the complete opposite of that.
So I was really extremely so disappointed after seeing the trailer, but I was like, you know what? Maybe I will consider buying it when I see more. Maybe it is a good game because it is Atlas and it looks like a decent RPG.
I feel like that's the thing for you though, and like it's understandable why you would say that, like, you're both people and stuff, because it's not what you expected, but you're into RPGs and stuff more than I am. So even though it's not exactly what you want it to be, that's not to say you're going to completely like disown it. But on the other hand, for me, I wanted this game to be, like I said, Marth, Fire Emblem versus Demi-Fiend, Shin Megami Tensei 3. I wanted it to be, a game that combined both franchises. And that's the only reason why I gave it any thought, is because not so much it was an RPG, but because it had characters from both franchises that I liked, that I wanted to see, come together. And the fact that it's not that, I'm going to say I'm the person who, hates the game and stuff, just because, it's not what I want it to be. And I know people were like, oh, well, no one ever said explicitly it was going to be, crossover. Because
I agree with that.
Because the trailer that they showed and stuff, it didn't have any gameplay. All they said was that a game was in production, blah blah. It was going to be a crossover. But but
I mean, when the trailer clearly showed characters from both franchises, like all the wikis and Wikipedia, like, oh, characters that will appear in this game.
Yeah.
And they list all the characters, and then it makes you think even more that the game is actually going to have these characters.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem with me, is that they showed you one thing and then they showed you a completely different thing. And I wouldn't have cared so much if they had said from the beginning it's an Atlas X Nintendo crossover, not a serious crossover of Fire Emblem and Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah, so I'd say, like, I am sort of looking forward to the game, but I'd say I am a bit more disappointed that it isn't how that it's not going to come out how we all envisioned it to be. So I do kind of agree with both sides, but I'd say I am a lot more disappointed than I am optimistic for it.
Yeah, I'm pretty much against the whole thing. I really don't care what happens to it now, so I guess that's kind of it for that. So, any other thoughts, SonicmonE, before we let you go here?
Yeah, I was really surprised that a new trailer for Fire Emblem If was showed during the Direct, and I have to say, like I'm saying, I'm playing Awakening now, and I don't know, this game looks really cool. They're actually, I could go off on it saying like, oh, the Japanese title is If. I honestly don't really like that very much because there is a game called Shin Megami Tensei If that came out a long time ago. I don't like that, and I also don't really like the black and white Law Chaos color scheme because it was used in the Shin Megami Tensei 4 3DS game. And I know you can't you can't trademark the colors black and white, but I don't know. Two big 3DS games, both like RPGs, both sharing the black and white color scheme, kind of, I wish maybe they had decided to do something else, but the trailer was really cool, the 3D animation was really cool, and the Japanese singing in it was really cool. So, and for alignment purposes, who knows, maybe I'll choose Nor because, Oni-chan girl. So, yeah, I'd say that and Persona 5 are probably the two big games I'm looking forward to next year.
Alright, so I guess with that said, SonicmonE, everybody, and now, with that said, guys, I'm El Supersonic here. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, Finn.